Everyone, once been here at the Battle Report. So this is Game 3 of the Mid-Atlantic qualifying tournament. My Bretonnians versus a Dwarf army. So just to set the stage, this is a 10-person tournament. The top 5 advance to represent the Mid-Atlantic region in the National Masters tournament coming up in February. And Game 1, I thought was going well enough, and ended up being a 16-4 loss. Game 2, I got crushed 20-0. So I'm going into this game, and basically I need a 20-0 in both my last 2 games just to even have a chance at making the top 5. So I threw finesse to the wind and said, you know what, let's just throw our stuff together, and I'm either going to get a 20-0 or not. I can't try to eke out a small win in a very, very bad matchup. And might I say that when I looked at all the lists for the tournaments, the Game 1 Lizardman list didn't concern me too much. I felt it wasn't a wonderful matchup, but I thought it was very, very manageable, and I just need more experience against it. Game 2, the Wood Elf list, was just kind of a bad matchup. I think it's possible to do okay against that list with this kind of list, but it wasn't great. But this one was a dwarf. Oh my gosh, this was the worst matchup possible. But basically, the 3 games I've had were the 3 worst matchups for me. Okay, all right. But as I just found out 2 weeks after the tournament that I was playing a rule wrong the whole time, it's probably a good thing that my matchups are so bad. Anywho, yeah, so in the stuck in the corner, he's got a grudge thrower. In front of him, he's got a unit of quarrelers with great weapons. He's got an organ gun, a unit of longbeards with great weapons, with 3 characters. Runesmith gives him armor piercing. I forgot about that. A general and a BSB. He's got a cannon. On the far left, he's got a unit of hammers, and he's got his first of 3 gyrocopters there. They're the other 2. So obviously, he's just going in a corner. He's got 2 units that are stubborn. One because of a banner, one because they're just hammers. So the other unit I could charge and have a hope of breaking on the charge would be those quarrelers. He's got only 3 war machines, but they're ruined up and fairly nasty. And then he's got 3 redirectors to slow me down. So here in the far right, I've got a unit of Knights of the Realm with a Lord level character and a Paladin. A unit of Fast Calf, another unit of Knights of the Realm. This with my General, a BSB, the Paladin, and the one and my level 4. They've got the +1 movement banner, and they also have a Paladin that has the plus D6 on your first charge. Then I've got my my bowman in front of a trebuchet. I thought that the fence would help maybe stop a cannonball, but it really didn't. Anyway, Knights Errant, they've got 2 paladins, and I've got my level 1 or level 2, whatever, Lore of Beasts. Then I've got another unit of archers in front of a trebuchet, and then my peg knights. So my peg knights and my trebuchets and my archers were all put down just as throwaway units to see what was going on with my opponent. And I think if this were Game 1, I think what I would have done differently is gone away from him and just thrown rocks at each other, thrown some comets down, and made it to where all he could do to me would be to shoot a cannon and possibly a grudge thrower, and just called it at that. Because it just, for the most part, you can't take Bretonnians into the face of that kind of shooting and stubbornness. So Dwarfs turn 1. The only way he moved his troops was just to angle them such that I think on his next turn he angled them this time. Next turn he'll move them and basically make it so that my Knight Lances cannot charge war machines. So he moves like that. Shooting his, he just shoots right over top of the fence and hits the trebuchet and kills it. Kills a few knights here, and we go to Bretonnian turn 1. And my thinking is, let's move up. We gotta charge him and hope to get lucky. Peg Knights coming around the side, try to take out some war machines. Magic, not a whole lot happened. Now he has, of course, in essence, he has a scroll and the scroll that might kill the spell. So turn 1, he used that one and did not kill the comet spell, so I can still cast that in the future. Redirects with the gyrocopter, shoots, kills a couple more of these guys. Shoots and kills, I think, 1 and both those units. Kill some more with this unit. Now this is actually getting scary because at this point I only have 3 rank and file left. So now we can start sniping characters. So we go to Bretonnia turn 2. Unit on the right charges a gyrocopter. Unit on the left charges a gyrocopter. This found really funny. So I charge this one in at his general's unit. And my thinking is, it's not a wonderful matchup, but if I can get heroic killing blow off on his lord, which isn't highly likely, but it's possible, and if I can throw all my other possible attacks at his battle standard bearer, if I get those 2 characters out of the way, 1, I'm up, I'm doing okay on points, and 2, at least with 1 bad roll, things can start going my way. Well, I failed the charge. I didn't need much. I failed it. And I realized later that I forgot that I had the plus D6. And so that's really bad because not that combat was a high percentage thing, but not being in combat, this unit is very vulnerable. He can start sniping out my general, my level 4, all that. So after combat, of course, his gyrocopters I charged are dead. On his turn 3, he moves his 3rd gyrocopter in front of my unit on the left. I'm thinking his hammers might have tried to charge my general's unit and failed. And so, oh my gosh, so he opens up on this unit on the far right. The whole unit's dead except the champion. I've got a paladin and a lord level character there. His cannon shoots and snipes out my general. And we go to Bretonnia turn 3. So at this point, I think I just conceded the fact that I can't get a 20-0 and that no matter what happens the rest of the tournament, I'm out of the Masters. So I was like, screw it, let's just throw stuff into the fights and roll dice and have as much fun as we can. So I go ahead and charge his general's unit. I charge the remaining 2 characters and champion at his correlers. He does a stand and shoot. I have to allocate the shooting, and he kills a paladin. They get into combat there. Use my fast cav to make sure his hammers can't countercharge my knight unit that has no chance at all of doing anything. Matter of fact, I'll tell you now, we charge in there, I don't do a single wound to anyone. There's that. And of course, these guys have great weapons, so that could go badly for me. There's that action shot. This is just, was this the charge of the light brigade? You know what? That's what I should have called this battle report. These are my 600. So yeah, after combat here, you can see my not my general, but on the right hand side, that lord level character has taken 2 wounds. The champion's, he survives a stand and shoot. He survives this. The champion is pretty much a badass. But yeah, the lord level character can't do anything. And after combat, he doesn't do, in the main one, I don't do any wounds to him. He can't do any wounds to me, and we stick. And actually, he won combat because of ranks. He had a BSB and extra rank. So Dwarfs turn 4, his hammers charge my fast cav, catches them and destroys them. The quarrelers kill the lord level character. They still can't do a wound to that champion. He breaks. If you look at him in the very far left, he didn't want none of that. Matter of fact, he must have broken. It's possibly broke on my turn. I don't know how I got that far so far. Anyway. There's that. It's a hopeless battle there, and so he kills all the unit, which ends up being probably a good thing. I have a paladin and a level 4 left, which means they can rally on an 8, which is helpful. My peg knights are finally in the background. I've killed a cannon and I think his master engineer and just stuff like that. So dwarf turn 5, his general's unit charges my those 2 characters, and they of course have to flee. He redirects to the other unit. He needs, I don't know, like a 9 or a 10 to get there, and of course he gets it. So like whatever at this point. That's not good. This must have been his stone thrower hits and kills my my other trebuchet. I'm thinking, because I think his cannon's dead. And so this is my peg knights wrapping up in battle. Looks like they killed the organ gun, and now might be facing his master engineer. I don't know. They're just cleaning up small points back there. After combat, he actually doesn't do many wounds to me, but he breaks my guys in combat. The Bretonnia turn 5. Both these units rally. I move my archers up to redirect his longbeards. On my last turn, by the way, or maybe it's on this turn. Anyway, so now my plan is just to throw comets, just to seek some revenge on these units. Peg Knight's still fighting there, turns his quarrelers around. Yeah, normally I like to take my Peg Knights against infantry, but strength 5 is kind of tough. It means they only have a 5 up, 5 up. So a comet that I had cast a couple turns ago finally goes off and just really kind of obliterates his unit and ends up doing maybe 1 wound to my Peg Knights. So Dwarf turn 6. Now I can tell you that we got the turns messed up. I think we ended up going 7 turns. But Dwarf turn 6, he charges my archers, although it doesn't really look like it. He turns his hammers around. As you can see, I think my Peg Knights are off the table at the moment. Yeah, some kind of shooting kills the paladin that was with my level 4 and puts a wound on her. You can see the archers just get demolished and run. Go to Brett turn 6. So I took the level 4 and got her out of the way, and I was going to take the knights, just march them away from his general's unit so he couldn't charge them. But again, I was like, screw it. I mean, we had plenty of time left to play the game, and like I said, I wasn't going to get a 20-0, so I said, screw it. Let's just charge in there and roll some dice. My Peg Knights either charge the quarrelers, or I think what I do, I came back on the board and I moved 10. I get as far away from his hammers as possible. Yeah, looks like that. Action shot. Yeah, I do. I've done a couple wounds now, but not enough to matter. And this guy, the champion that couldn't be killed, he's on Snake Eyes to rally, and he rallies. That's beautiful. Thank you. After combat, yeah, he just totally destroys my unit there. And over here, his hammers needed a good long charge to be able to make that, and he rolled like a 10 and got there. Damn it. So, yeah, this is the extra turn. Doesn't really matter. He charges my archers. My Peg Knights kill his quarrelers down to they have 1 guy left, but of course, with all the combat res from the hammers, he won that, pushed him off the table, and the game ends like that. So, yeah, this is... I should say, I think I jinxed myself because prior to this tournament, somebody had predicted my game 1 would be a 20-0 loss to me, and the thought occurred to me is like, I get beat. I get beat often, but I don't get 20-0'd very often. In this tournament, I've had 2 20-0s and a 16-4. I'm like, okay, I take it back. So this game was just weird. Like I said, I mean, I think one way to play this game is just to say, if you're going to castle in a corner, I'll castle in a corner, and we'll just throw, like I said, I can throw a couple rocks at him and comets. He can shoot a cannon and maybe a rock at me, and just let it be a draw or a minor win or loss either way. Another option is to start out on the left and use that building to provide cover, swing around the left of the building, and that way when I engage with his units, it'd be with the hammers, but it'd only be 1 at a time. His quarrelers and his organ gun would virtually be useless. I'd be out of range for them to do much, and more of a finesse game. I think would be much more manageable. So I don't know if I had to do it again. That's probably what I would do. But as it was with this game, like I said, I was like, screw it. Let's just throw them together and hope to get lucky. And of course, that didn't happen. So that's it for Game 3, and Game 4 will be up soon. Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has several functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like the video, you can leave a comment, you can favorite the video. I want you to know that I appreciate it when you do things like that. It feels much more interactive than simply me talking to a screen. So if you're willing to do so, please like, comment, and favorite the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and you certainly are welcome to share this video on your blog or other websites if you are so inclined. Again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.